Okay, this is episode 157 of Craft Roulette, and we have our parameters, and I just had this, I just tried out this new die set that I got from scrapbook.com, and I thought, well, I'll just use it to write my parameters on. So I have Project and Easel Card, which I've never made before. Our colors are cornucopia. The element is it needs to rhyme with ache, and then our random is gold. So these are the elements that I'm going to be working through. I've never made that easel card, but I have an idea what I'm going to do. And I'm going to use this, since we have cornucopia colors, I think I can use this cardstock color here. And I'm going to make the base of my card out of it. So what I'm going to do is just grab, this is a 12 by 12. So I'm just going to take and I'm going to cut it down to 4 1/4. And then I'll make it 11 so that I have my 5 1/2. So I'll need to take off 1 inch. Not sure if all this is getting in frame here. So I'm basically going to take off 1 inch of this. And then I'll get my score buddy. And I've got this blue paper laying on there because my light is reflecting back at me this evening. And I did just hear our weather alarm go off. This is the evening in which we're having all of these terrible storms all over the country. And our weather alarm just went off, so I heard it in the background. Okay, so I'm just going to fold my card and get it ready. And then what I think I'm going to do is, I mentioned that I just took that stamp set from, this tag stamp set from scrapbook.com, and it seems like it would be the perfect size to just lay across my paper and to cut some legs for my easel card. So I'm going to just go to my die cutting machine and I'm going to try to even this out and cut some legs out of that for my easel. And then in addition to that, I'm going to need to take my A2 basic, and I'm going to find one that will fit along with that, in which I think I could cut out my easel frame. So I think it could be like that so that it will look like an easel. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go to my die cutting machine, cut that out, and then I'll have my base for my easel card. Okay, so I have my easel cut out. Basically, I took that tag die, cut that out, and then I took another die to cut that out, and then I'll put a centerpiece of paper of some sort in there. And I think I'll have my easel card element checked off, and then next is cornucopia, which I think this color goes well with the whole cornucopia. And then for ache, I think I'm going to go with cake, and I'm going to try to stamp and color this cake in cornucopia colors, and that'll meet that. And then I can always do some gold sentiment or some gold trim or something like that around my easel. So that's what I'm going to do, and so just follow as I stamp this cake down. So I'm just going to lay this out of the way. I'm actually going to bring that brown paper back in because I still have that light problem going on. And my desk is getting a little crazy, so I'm going to clear it off. Okay. So there we go. Pull this off. And I'll probably stamp this a couple times just in case I don't do a good job. That way I can work with that. So I'm just going to lay that down. And I've never used this stamp either. So I'll need to, let's see. I've got to grab some ink, so I'll be right back. Okay, I'm just going to use this black Ranger ink, and I'll stamp it with that. So I'm just going to get it picked up, and see if I can get it stamped, inked up real good, real well, I should say. Not using very good English. I haven't heard the weather radio anymore, and it's pretty calm outside, so I think we're okay. I think we are a little bit of a ways off from any inclement weather, which is unfortunate because it's, you know, it's only getting darker. So it wouldn't be good if that actually stamped really well. I'll go ahead and give it one more stamp since that's the first time that stamp's ever been used. And we'll just give it another press. Yeah, that looks really good. And then I'm going to flip it over and I'm going to just stamp one more time just in case I make a mistake with my coloring, because I am not a colorist. I like to color and I've been practicing my coloring, but I'm not there yet. So I'm going to go ahead and I will have to fussy cut this out. This is just some random clear stamp that I think I picked up at Hobby Lobby. So it will definitely have to be fussy cut out, which I don't like. Or I could actually take maybe a square die and cut it out, or even a round one or something, you know, to cut it out to where I didn't have to fussy cut. But we'll see where we go with that. Okay, so I've got two of them stamped out, and I think they look pretty good. So I have two to work with in case I need them. I'm going to go ahead and clean off my stamp and get it put away, and then I'll come back and we'll do some coloring. Okay, so I've got some of my tri-blend markers that I'm going to use here. I've got a dull green blend, a tan blend, a gold yellow blend, and a burnt orange blend. So I'll mess around with those and see if those are going to work. I'm going to, just realized I had the show going in the background. So I'm going to just not talk through the coloring. That way I can listen to the show and I can also speed up the video. So I'm just going to color, put some music on, and enjoy the show. Okay, so I have my easel and I have my cake that rhymes with egg. So I'm gonna just mark off, I've got my easel, I colored my cake with cornucopia, and I've got my egg. And then for the gold, I've got, I need to put something on my easel, and I had two pieces of paper, this one or that one that I could use on there. And then in addition, I also went ahead and took these two dies, laid them together, and cut out a frame. So I'll save this for later. That's a nice panel that I can use. And then just pull this tape off. Hopefully I'm in frame there so you can see it. And then I've made a nice little frame that can go around the edge to kind of finish that off. And hopefully that'll work. So that'll lay on my easel. So I just need to decide which gold paper I'm going to use. But before I do that, I'm going to fussy cut this out so that I can lay it on there and see how it looks. I've got some scissors here, and I think what I'm going to do is it'll take me a bit of time, and to save time on the video, I'll go ahead and pause and fussy cut that out so I can watch the show, and then I'll decide on the other elements when I come back. Okay, so I've got all my elements here. I'm just going to pull them all in. I have cut this out. It looks super cute. And I've cut out some congrats, and I've decided to go with this paper. It's got the gold in it, and it's two-sided, and I'm not going to like this showing out the back of my card. So I'm going to actually, I've made two panels, and I'm going to glue them together, and then I'll insert that inside my card. So I'm just going to start pulling my elements together. I think it's going to be a kind of a plain card, but hopefully it'll be lovely. And I'm thinking kind of a, I feel like I have all the cornucopia colors. I'm not sure this blue here is, but I think it'll work. And so with that, I'm going to use this congrats, and I've got several layers here. I'm going to layer it up. I'll put some foam tape on the back of that as well. So let's go ahead and start getting our elements together. And I just realized I needed to turn down the show because it's talking in the background. So hopefully that wasn't too distracting as I was talking about this. In fact, they're getting very far along with their cards, and I feel like I'm kind of poking along this evening, but I'm having a relaxing time. Last week when I participated, I was in a big hurry because we had plans. And so tonight I'm not rushed like I was last week. And I had already told my husband that I would be doing this. So he actually he officiates college track and field events, and he had an event today, and we weren't sure when he was going to get home. And so I told him, I said, I don't know when you're going to get home, but I will be participating with the craft roulette at 7 o'clock. So he knew when he got home that I wouldn't be available to chit-chat. And so he's doing his own thing in the other room. So I'm just going to get some foam tape to layer this up. Hopefully I'm in frame. Sometimes I just get crafting away and I forget to look and see if my camera is even in frame. So hopefully it is. Just layer this up. And I'm just cutting. This foam tape I've got, it's just from the dollar store. I'm just layering it up. Probably got it too big for that. There, okay. So I've got that ready. I've got this. So I think what I'll do is, I think I'm gonna get this out of the way. And I think I'll grab my tape runner for this panel and see if I can get it taped down. And the 2 layers will also help with the sturdiness of the card. And I gotta make sure I keep it inside the frame. So I'm gonna go, you know what, I'm afraid with the tape runner it'll be too wide and I'll make a mess. So I'm just gonna go ahead and lay this down. And I've got this blue paper laying there because I'm trying to reduce the glare. And I had brown on there and I thought it would just blend in with my easel, so I went ahead and changed out to the blue paper. So that's why I've got the blue paper laying there. Okay, and then I want to try, and it looks like I got a little bit wild with that side, but hopefully it'll cover it up. Try and get it kind of straight. Looks like I need to go over this way a little bit. I don't think it'll matter on the front, but I do want the back to look kind of decent. So I'm a little bit further over on the one side. I think it'll be okay. So this is my easel, and it actually will set like an easel, and it has little legs on it like an easel. Okay, now I want to make sure, hopefully, and I didn't pull all the tape off of that, so I think I can set it down there without making a mess. And I think I can get this framed out, and then I will layer these. And I should be able to set that there, even if it has to hang out. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and get my gold piece laid, my frame laid down. And I want to try and be as neat as I can so that I don't make a mess on my gold. This is Love from Lizzie gold paper that I had, that I'm using here. And I just want to kind of frame that out, try to make it as neat as I can. Need to move it up a little bit and over a little bit. Oh, trying to get it just right. Okay, I think that's going to work. And it provides a nice little frame for my easel. I'm just going to push my pressure tool. And this is the tool that my stepdad made for me. I'm just going to push that down. And then next, I think what I'll do is go ahead and I cut several of these congrats out of just white Hammermill cardstock, and this is the Spellbinder Simply Perfect Mix and Match Sentiments, and I've got a lot of them die cut out in a lot of different colors and stuff, but I did not have this color, and I thought I would, and I'd used all my whites that I already had cut out because I've layered several of them in this container here. And this container is just a extra gum container. And I use these for my ephemera and my sentiments when I do like a massive die cutting and I store them. I've got a whole bunch of them and I just label them with what they are so that I remember what they are. And that's how I store them. So if you or anybody choose extra gum, save those containers. That makes an excellent storage container for ephemera and sentiments and other small things that you might have. So now I'm just going to layer these up. And I think they all look good. Sometimes I'll look at them carefully and I'll use like the worst one on the bottom or something like that. Sometimes if I get off my paper, I don't get on my paper very well, or all my dye on my paper very well, and I cut off part of it, I'll make sure I put the bad one on the bottom when I'm layering. But I think I got all these cut real nice, so it doesn't matter which one I put on the bottom. And then, of course, my blue sparkle or shimmer will go on the top. So this is going to be 4-layer deep. So it should be a pretty solid sentiment when I get done. And I was thinking about pausing the camera to do this, but I think it's going fairly quickly. So hopefully it's not too long for you to watch. And then I'm just going to get them lined up. I hear the wind picking up outside. So far, we've been very fortunate. We've had a little bit of rain. But the wind is picking up now, so I know there's been just terrible storms and tornadoes where there's been some destruction, so I feel fortunate that we haven't had anything yet. Hopefully, I haven't checked the radar lately. Hopefully we'll be all right. I was actually kind of worried if we would have the show tonight just because there were so many different areas that were being affected by it. And I didn't know if it would be a problem, if we'd have internet issues or if Mary would have issues. So I'm glad that we were able to do it. I have not had any free time all week. I have had my grandson since Sunday, every day. And I had him Sunday night, Monday night, and then Tuesday afternoon, they got picked up. But then I had them Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday through the workday. So I've had not had any time to do anything. So I was excited to be able to do craft roulette tonight and to be able to spend time in my craft room. So there, I've got that laid down. So I'm thinking, as I look at this, I'm like, gosh, this is going to be a pretty plain card, but I might think for a minute and see if there's some other things I could add to it. I don't want to get too much. I don't want to be just overly embellished. So I have trouble pulling this tape off. I have no fingernails, so I can't get underneath there. There we go. There we go. Now we got it. Okay, so now I want to just kind of lay this in the upper center area. I think that looks pretty good. And then this will be ready to lay down with some glue. I'm going to get my tweezers. That way I can just turn it over. And this, I guess, kind of puts me in the mind of a wedding card or something like that. I don't, the colors are kind of different. But I suppose for a fall wedding or a barn wedding or something like that, this would go quite nicely for it. And we do have quite a bit of barn weddings here in Indiana. There's a lot of really fancy venues where they've taken a barn and restored it, and it's very common for us to attend barn weddings in our area. So I guess I could pull that off at a barn wedding. Okay, so this is what I've got. Congrats. And then on the inside, I've covered up that hole with that. And I don't know, I might want to lay down some white, like a white panel there, to where I would have an area to write. I don't have one readily handy. I want to think just a minute. I'm going to watch the show and think for a minute if there's anything else that I might add to this that might finish it. Okay, so I found this sentiment, wishing you love, and I'm just going to stamp it down on the inside of the card. I put a white panel down, and I'm just going to stamp it on the inside of the card, and that'll be my sentiment, and hopefully it'll stamp okay. I'm gonna do one more time because I think wishing you, it's a pretty light stamp, but I'd like to get a little bit more color on there. It's pretty thin, I guess is what I mean. It's a real thin stamp. So I'm just going to give it one more press, and hopefully I won't mess it up. Wishing you love. I see quite a bit of black ink on my, yeah, that'll work just fine. So I've got wishing you love on the inside. And then what I wanted to do, and hopefully that dried all right. What I want to do on the outside is I found I had another pack of embellishments, and I'm going to use this blue on the outside because I think I can add just a couple of those, and I think that'll just finish my card off. So I'll lay some of those out, and I've kind of got a couple different sizes there, so I'm just going to see what I think I like. Do that, and then I think I'll put one down here. And then what I'm going to do, where's my glue? Okay, I'm going to just lift them up, put them down, and then I've got a smaller version over here, so I think I'll layer them. I think I've got enough there that I can layer it. Oops. Usually it'll seep through that little hole that's there, so I thought it would seep through and then I could just layer them. Hopefully I can layer them. I think that'll be pretty if it'll stay down. Okay, and then I'll do the next one. And just push it down. And it did pop through. So I'm going to grab another little one and just layer it up. And sorry, I just hit my head on the camera. Sometimes things go well and sometimes they don't. Okay, and I'm going to do the same thing here. And I'm going to flip that one. I think I'm going to put a little more glue on there. See if it'll stay down better. And then just layer that up. So I think this is going to be my finished card. A very, very simple card. But I think I've made the easel. I've used my cornucopia colors, and I've got my gold in there with my white and gold patterned paper and my gold frame. Let me see, have I hit all of my, make sure I did everything I needed to do. Easel card, cornucopia, ache, cake rhymes with ache, and gold. Yay, I'm finished. So I'm going to call that quits, and I'll take a picture and get it loaded, and hopefully get this video uploaded and share it with the group. I love this. It's so much fun. I'm so glad that I was able to find it through my following Gina K and her being on the show, because it's really a lot of fun, and I would encourage everyone to try it out if you haven't. So very, very fun. Bye now.